Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Ultimate Dirt TV. Tonight on the program, it is the Loud Pedal Productions 410 Winged Sprint Car Series here tonight from the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. Brett Wheeler joined alongside Chris Nunn as we get set for qualifying on the program. There is 2 minutes right now on the clock. Each driver, they have 1 lap to lay down their best lap time. And again, we'll bring up those qualifiers on the left-hand side of your screen. Down the bottom left is the drivers that we're watching at the moment. The green to check at Flood Racing Components. Car number 7 of Josh Flood. Timothy Smith, 13-147. The defending 410 Sprint Car champion, Mason Hannigan. He was second quick, but he's now third quick with a 13.159. His teammate Josh Starkey has bested him with a 13.157. Flood with a 13.280. Watching some other drivers on the racetrack right now. Stephen Bixler in the McDonald's Finley Farms. Car number 41 on screen. As we try and look for some other drivers out onto the racetrack. Joel Berkeley in the Slick Sim Sports Down Under Graphics. He goes quick time with a 13.082. Looking forward to seeing what this guy can do here. Cameron Merriman, as Merriman goes third quick with a 13.153. And boy, there are some drivers to still lay down the lap time.
A lot of good cars here tonight. 48, I believe, is what my last count was that I saw. We just had great car counts all night long here.
Looking at 49 apparently that have signed into the pit area. How many drivers it will take a lap time? Well, I can tell you 41 officially have taken a lap time, and it looks like we've just clicked over to 50 drivers that have made their way out onto the racetrack. Let's take a look at those qualifying results here for the Loud Pedal Productions 410 Winged Sprint Car Series. Joel Berkeley goes quick time with a 13.082. Timothy Smith in second spot. Cameron Merriman rounds out the top 3. Josh Steinke and Mason Hannigan in 4th and 5th. And Chris, 5 heat races on the program for the opening round of the Loud Pedal Productions 410 Wing Sprint Car Series. Let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid.
On the pole, we're going to see Joel Berkeley. Outside of him, the Slick Sim Sport number 14 machine. That'll be J.D. Brown.
Inside your second row, Paul Mancini will start position number 3, and Brandon Steele and the SteelCycle.com number 5 will start position number 4.
Starting in the 5th spot, it's going to be Blake Chapman in the 19 machine, and outside of him, it's going to be Jonte Goss in the 777.
Trey Schmidt in car number 12 will start position at number 7. Josh Phillips in car 24 will start position number 8.
And row 5 on the inside, we're going to see Brian Warner Jr. in the 57, the Warner Racing Machine. Outside of him, Rico Robles in the number 3 machine, starting 10th.
10 cars, I believe it'll be top 3 going straight through to the main event. Everybody else will be set forward into one of 2 B mains before we have a 30-lap A main event here to wrap up the season opener. Season number 10 here for the World of Thunder Racing League. Of course, we had the UMP modifieds up first, which you done that one by yourself, and then Wesley Outland came in and joined you there for the main event of that one, and then you two worked again on the Pro Late Models. And of course, we had the Super Late Model Nationals Series, and now we wrap up with the 410 Winged Sprint Car Series. It's an unforgettable night so far, Chris, and what better way to wrap us up with probably the best cars, in my opinion, sprint cars.
It's been a great night. Huge thank you to our sponsors here for Season 10, Grace Productions, Lab Pedal Productions, Bobby and Jennifer Hans, a whole bunch of other Next Level Designs, $1 Million Motorsports, Team Outlaw, everybody that's involved here. And also our special thank you to our sponsors at Ultimate Dirt TV, World of Thunder, and Wicked Cushion, as I found my sponsor paper.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Where was it?
It was buried under a whole stack of other stuff that I had to move around to get the computer in the right spot.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, look, better late than never. I mean, I did ask for it during the Super Late Model. I think it was towards the end of the B main number 2. So, look, we got there in the end. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I wet the bed on that one, didn't I?
Yeah, you certainly did. Anyhow, here we go. Heat race number 1 of 5 here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Who will get the win? Who will start on pole for tonight's 30-lap main event? It's more than likely either going to be Berkeley or Brown. The green flag is out. We are underway here in heat race number 1. The Loud Pedal Productions 410 Sprint Car Series as Mancini tried to put a move there on JD Brown, but Brown worked around the outside. It's down through turn number 3 and 4. Berkeley a little bit out of shape on the exit of turn number 4. He will lead lap number 1 of 8.
Joel Berkeley out front, JD Brown back there in that Hoffman Motorsports lookalike number 69 machine. Always a good sucker for the Hoffman Motorsports colors. I love the way those cars look all the time. He sits there in second. Mancini and Steele going at it back there for third and fourth.
Yeah, Steele's trying to get on the inside of a transfer position. Needs to get inside the top 3. Trey Schmidt putting a move on Blake Chapman. They'll continue to race side by side down into 1 and 2. But again, there is left of your screen the number 21 machine of Joel Berkeley. Out in front at the moment, halfway home. 4 down, 4 to run. The 69 is showing as a 14 on the ticker. On the top left, JD Brown running in second. As these two drivers, they have really got clear of third position as Brandon Steele now putting a move into turn number 3 and 4.
Into turn number 1 and 2 they come. Top 2 cars are pulling away from third place running Brandon Steele in that 5 machine as they roll down the back straightaway. As an ad just popped up on my phone for some stupid reason.
I was wondering what that was, and I was like, you know what, we're just going to roll with it, we'll let it go, and, well, we'll have 1 lap left to run here in heat race number 1. 8 laps the distance here. Berkeley under a bit of pressure from JD Brown in second spot. I don't think he'll be able to do anything because Berkeley, he'll stay to the top shelf. Brown going to try the bottom out of turn number 4, but not good enough. Joel Berkeley gets the win here in heat race number 1. JD Brown home in second, and Brandon Steele going straight through to the main event. Blake Chapman in the 19, in fact, running out of fuel there on the exit of turn number 4. Those top 3 drivers, Berkeley, Brown, and Steele, all going straight through to tonight's 30-lap main event. They'll start 1, 6, and 11 in the main event, considering that we've only got the 5 heat races. Mancini, Schmidt, Phillips, Robles, Goss, Warner Jr., and Chapman. Those drivers that finished, and we'll start the B main. 2 B mains we'll have on the program here. Heat race number 2. Let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid.
On the pole, we're going to see Timothy Smith out there in that 40 machine. Outside of him, Clayton Tilley in 51.
Randy Shreves will start position number 3, and Harry Stewart for United Sim Sports will start position number 4.
Shreves has the best team name ever, if you read that really fast. Row number 3 on the inside is Brody Sims in the Bangin' Boards Racing Row 4 machine. Outside of him, Goon Squad Racing's number 12 of Riley Emig.
Scott King will start position 7, Connor Wilson out of position number 8, and Braden Eiler scheduled to line up out of position number 9. Yes, I actually seen Randy Shreves in the D&J 360 Sprint Car Series. I believe picked up a 3rd place from memory at Knoxville just last week.
Well, he knows his way around in the wing sprint cars. See what he can do here at Volusia here on the World of Thunder. As we get set to go here in heat race at number 2. As Tim Smith and Clayton Tilley are going to make up your front row.
Yeah, Tilly again from here in Australia, along with Harry Stewart, in fact, both on the opposite sides of the country. Tilly from over in Western Australia, Harry Stewart from Queensland. So, again, complete opposite sides of what we call home here in Australia. So, keen to see Stewart get around here. He's a teammate of mine. And, of course, I play no favouritism. I'll give him just as much as stick as what I would BJ Duval, who, in fact, is probably going to make a real big boo-boo of himself later on tonight. Hey, how about this for commitment? Joshua Beattie, 4 a.m. in the UK, and he has turned out tonight to watch this.
That is absolute commitment right there.
There's only one time I've ever gone up that early in the morning, and in fact it was the Wicked Cushion iRacing Extravaganza where they had Tim's Dirt Track Simulators host an iRacing event, and I was actually up at 3 a.m. to call some races, and it lasted about 7 or 8 hours.
Oh, no thanks. That's a long time.
That's a real long time. And here we go. Green flag is out. We're underway. Heat race number 2. Timothy Smith in the 86 machine. Going to lead Clayton Tilley. Harry Stewart on the bubble right now. He's got Riley Emig in the number 12 machine. Hot on the heels of the 11 with the Valvoline United Sim Sports entry of Harry Stewart so far. Looking good in third spot. Is Tilley not trying to catch up to your race leader Tim Smith down into 1 and 2.
Out of turn number 1 and 2 they go. Tilley still trying to play catch up down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3 and 4. Tim Smith in that 86 machine. Still your leader. Zero down the front straightaway. Coming up on halfway as Harry Stewart now to the inside. Throwing that Steve Kinzer Valvoline number 11 car there into that second spot. But here comes Tilley back again. They almost make contact.
Yeah, close racing here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Emig now up on the inside of Tilley. Tilley looking to hold on to a main event position. At the moment, Emig tries to thread the needle. Slides up in front of Tilley. Tilley makes contact. Now here comes Randy Shrees in the 56 machine. 3-car battle for the final transfer spot on the racetrack at the moment.
Into turn number 3 and 4 they go. Riley Emig into that third spot. Tilley and Shreve still run 4th and 5th as we are counting down the laps. White flag is going to come out this time by. Tilley slides in front of Emig. Emig fights back now to the inside into turn number 3 and into turn 4 they go. Good battle here.
Yeah, half a mile to run here for Tim Smith and Harry Stewart out in front, 1 and 2. The battle on between Tilley and Emig. Out of turn number 2, Tilley trying to shut the door. They'll make contact. Tilley, I think, is out of fuel. Timothy Smith going to get the win. Harry Stewart second. Third will go to Riley Emig, and that is the second driver in 2 heat races to run out of fuel. Man, just don't try and undercut it. Just put enough fuel in to where you're going to get yourself potentially into the main event. But heat race number 1 is complete. In fact, heat race number 2 is complete. Heat 1's already been completed. As we'll bring up those results for you right now. Heat 2, Tim Smith, Harry Stewart, Riley Emig, your top 3. Shreves, Isla from the back gets 4th and 5th. Wilson, Sim, King, and Tilley. Drivers home in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Heat number 3 up next.
And on the pole of heat race number 3, we're going to see Cameron Merriman in the 35 machine. Outside of him, the always hard-charging Devin Butts in the 47 car.
Zach McSwain going to roll off out of position 3. Brett Rolls, the 17R, will start position number 4.
Starting 5th, going to see Ernie Williams Jr. in the number 91 machine. Outside of him, Steven Bixler in 41, starting 6th.
I'm not. There's going to be a butcher of this name. Mason Mueller? What do you reckon? Mueller?
Miller?
Miller? I'll tell you, we're going to go with Mason Miller until we get corrected on that one. Mason, apologise about that one. But Colton Key will roll off out of position number 8.
Starting in the 9th spot, going to see Hayden Cardwell. And outside of him, Alan Bergen rounding out the field.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to worry about Mason's name, in fact, because he did not grid for this heat race. So, in fact, we had Alan Bergen, Colton Key as well not gridding. So, looking like just a 7-car field in heat race number 3. Now, 5 heat races on the program, still the 2B mains. And I believe they'll be contested over 12 laps. And I believe we'll take the, I want to say top 4 from each. So we'll probably have a 21-car field.
It's going to be a good one no matter what here at Volusia Speedway Park. Good crowd on it. Over 200 cars have signed in tonight in all 4 of our divisions, so that's pretty amazing.
That's just opening night. We had 60 in the Super Late Model Series, and we've got 50 here tonight in the Loud Pedal Productions 410s. We had, I'm trying to think for the Pro Late Models, I think we had close like 59, I think it was.
We had 42 in the Modifieds, 59 in the Pros, 60 in the Supers, and you said 50 here, right? So that's 211.
And just think, BJ Duval's up in one of the next 2 heat races. Oh, dear Lord.
So we have 210 and a half then.
I don't want to give him that much credit. 210 and a quarter. Here we go. Green flag is out, Chris.
Cameron Merriman leads the field into turn number 1. And McSwain out of the inside, trying to take that second spot away. Not able to do it. Down the back straightaway they go. Devin Butts into that 3rd spot in that purple and white number 47 machine. Turn 4, and Ernie Williams Jr. And then that 4th spot. You know that car very well.
Yes, certainly do know that car very well. It's nice to see the black and blue, or the blue and yellow machine back on the number 91 machine. He rides in fourth position at the moment. Carbell had some problems there. He's gone back to pit road, so we'll see the number 2 of Hayden Carbell hard charging through the B mains. Right now, McSwain holds on to position 2 over Devon Barnes, but everybody trying to chase the tail tank of the number 35 machine of Cameron Merriman, as now McSwain will shut the door down into 1 and 2 on Butts.
Butts has to play catch up now, trying to catch back up to that 37 of McSwain, but he's got Ernie Williams Jr. on his tail tank. We've got 4 cars already out of this one. 3 of them out, 1 of them in the pit area. Hayden Cardwell on a tough go of it here in this heat race as your top 4 run single file down that back straightaway. Turn number 3 and 4. It's still Merriman, McSwain, and Butts, your top 3.
Yeah, we're on board thanks to Black Diamond Motorsports. Watching the Black Diamond Motorsports number 91 machine of Ernie Williams Jr. 2.5 circuits remaining. It'll be 2 to go this time by out of turn 4. Merriman trying the cut down line out of turn number 4, same as Ernie Williams Jr. But I think that's going to be the preferred line at the moment. I think they need to be right above the slick all the way around this big half a mile of a racetrack. Chris, one lap left to run here in heat number 3.
White flag out this time by Cameron Merriman, still holding on to that lead. It's still Zach McSwain second. Devin Butts trying to hold off Ernie Williams Jr. back there in that 3rd spot. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. It's going to be Cameron Merriman picking up the win. Zach McSwain second, Devin Butts third, and Ernie Williams Jr. coming home 4th. Brett Rolls rounding out the top 5 here in heat race 3.
Yeah, Bixler and Carbell, the 6th and 7th drivers there on the racetrack. Of course, Carbell, unfortunately, only getting to finish just a couple of laps there at heat race number 3, but the penultimate heat race of the night coming up next, heat race number 4. Let's go trackside, take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid.
On the pole, Joshua Steinke on the pole, and the number 80 machine outside of him, Dustin Hall in 3:31.
James Grace, the 269 machine, will start position number 3, and Zach Novak in the 15 will start position number 4.
Row 3 on the inside, Benjamin Wirt in the 31 machine. Outside of him, Alex Robinson in that 8 machine.
Tyler Matheny will start position 7. Trevor, are we going with Mattingly or Mattingly? I reckon Mattingly.
It's Mattingly.
Mattingly? All right. He'll start position 8.
In row 5 on the inside, John Lepresto in 71. Outside of him, Thor Maddock in 66.
All right, heat race number 4 here of the Loud Pedal Productions 410 Winged Sprint Car Series. The season opener. Now, just trying to gauge where we're at next week, because all season long in the UMP Modifieds Pro Late Model, Super Late Model National Series and the 410 Sprint Car Series, we stay at the same track all night. And again, following the pro schedule for the late models, and we are at Lernerville next week. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, one of your favorite tracks here on iRacing, isn't it?
Oh, I could go there every day of the week. But you know the thing I hate about it most? Driving off the edge of the racetrack when you're in a race.
Ah, yes.
I love it, but I hate it at the same time. But anyhow, here we go. Green flag. Heat number 4, Joshua Steinke and Dustin Hall. Keep an eye on Steinke, the pole setter. He tells us when to go green as he gets on the gas. There's James Grace now going to move up into position number 2. Look at Zach Novak working the inside, but Hall around the outside of the 15 of Novak.
Into turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4 is Steinke, your leader. Grace, Hall, Novak. 1, 2, 3, and 4 as they run out of turn number 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Benjamin Wirt, still your leader, down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Steinke looking to continue to lead here. Look at the start position number 4 in tonight's A main event is James Grace, who I got 2nd or 3rd, I think it was, at the end of season number 9 last week in the 410 Wing Sprint Car Series. So he's looking to, probably go 1 or 2 better when it comes to the point standings. But right now, he continues to sit in 2nd spot. Meanwhile, Zach Novak catching up to the back of the 331 machine of Dustin Hall for that 3rd and final transfer position.
Steinke, Grace, Hall, Novak, 1, 2, 3, and 4 still running single file. Novak trying to find his way around Hall down the back straightaway. Wirt still in that 5th position. Out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Laps clicking down. 3 remaining here in heat race number 4.
Yes, the penultimate heat race of the night. The Starkey continues to lead from Grace. We're on board right now thanks to Black Diamond Motorsport. With the 15 entry, the Slick Sim Sport entry, Zach Novak. He's good through 1 and 2 right now. Can he get a run? He's got a run on the outside, down into turn number 3 and 4. Dustin Hall going to slide up, and look how nearly take the line away, nearly take the left front, and put him over the catch fence. But Zach Novak, what a move that was, Chris.
Absolute great move by Novak, putting himself in that 3rd spot. But out of turn number 4, Steinke's going to pick up the win over James Grace. Zach Novak getting that 3rd position. Hall, Wirt, and Lepresto rounding out the top 6. Matheny, Mattingly, Robinson.
Yeah, 9 cars finishing at heat race number 4. Just then, again, we'll bring those results up for you again, just to make sure that there's no post-race penalties. But nonetheless, Josh Steinke, the Black Diamond Motorsports entry, gets the job done in heat number 4, the 5th and final heat race of the night. Let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid.
On the pole, it's going to be your defending champion in the 410 Sprint Cars here on World of Thunder. It's going to be Mason Hannigan. Outside of him, Richie Preston in 25.
Then we'll go back to Josh Flood in the Flood Racing Components, number 7 out of position number 3. And the Goon Squad Racing entry, Corey Austin, going to roll off out of position number 4.
Row 3 on the inside, Craig Silby from Australia. Outside of him, we are going to see Tyler LaPointe, the Goon Squad Racing, number 123.
Russell Berry will line up out of position 7. Cole Patrick lines up out of position number 8.
Starting 9th, going to see BJ Duvall, the number 32 machine. Outside of him, Mason King in the 9.
10 cars here in heat race number 5 here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. The Loud Pedal Productions 410 winged sprint car series, season 10. Chris, what an epic season this is shaping up to be.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt. Car count soaring through the roof. A lot of money being put out towards the point standings, points funds, and races, and the return to the iRacing homepage for us. Can't beat that.
Of course, a big thanks to, again, the folks at iRacing for allowing us here at Ultimate Dirt TV, again, the opportunity to get back on the iRacing front page and the iRacing Live at Portal as well. We'll have, I think I counted from memory last week, we've got about 40 races up on the front page of iRacing. Looking forward to a big week this week, and we'll talk more about that later on. But here we go. The defending 410 World of Thunder Racing League champion leads us off at turn number 4. The little Hurricane looking to sweep up a big storm here at Volusia.
Into turn number 1 and 2, down the back straightaway, it's Hannigan leading. Richie Preston back there in that 2nd spot. Josh Flood in 3rd, running the high side of the racetrack. Preston down low on the racetrack, and we are cautioned. Yellow is out.
All right, well, big thanks to, of course, Wicked Cushion and World of Thunder Racing League, sponsors here at Ultimate Dirt TV. As we take a look at your Wicked Cushion instant replay. Take a look what happened to the 92 of Craig Silver. In fact, he's in the 20 machine. And he actually had contact with, just trying to get that car just there. Well, Corey Austin in the number 92 machine, but easy truck value number 20 machine. Jeez, I think I've seen that green, white, and black car. Same. Oh no, wait, that's just my car. They're my colours. We all know they're my colours.
You own those colors. You got copyright.
I do. Anyone that wants to run that, they need to come and just make sure it's A-OK with me first. But yeah, Corey Austin, unfortunately, is digging up into the outside ball, and there is Sylvie, the right rear, tagged the opening there on the back straightaway.
So caution early on here in this heat race. Everything's been pretty clean and green so far. Hopefully we can go back to being clean and green the rest of the way through.
I'm not sure if you notice what's on the front. Look on the top wing, right in the center of that top wing.
Truck value?
Yeah.
Craig Silby. Nice.
It's got the fuel gauge there. Did you miss that one?
Yeah, I saw the fuel gauge there on top.
All right. Well, there is the Black Diamond Motorsports Ultimate Dirt TV FK bearings. 1X of Mason Hannigan. We're about to go back under the green flag conditions here. The iRacing.com pace truck back to the infield. Preston and Flood sitting in second and third. Have they got anything for the little Hurricane? I highly doubt it unless he stops one lap short of a heat race. And, well, we've seen that happen before. Right, Mason?
Out of turn 4. Hannigan, look out. He's got company as we roll down the front straightaway. Hey, Richie Preston may have a little something on the top side, and Hannigan having all kinds of problems on the bottom of the racetrack.
I'm wondering what is he doing. He knows the top's fastest. Why is he even attempting to go down there? Who is steering him in the wrong direction? Man, they're trying to sabotage his points haul already, but right now, Richie Preston leads into turn number 3 and 4. Hannigan running the cushion. Oh, look out, Flood. Man, that was close for Hannigan.
Wow, what a close call, Hannigan. Man, he got out of his preferred line, and now he's just going backwards. I don't understand the motive behind that at all.
I feel like banging my head against Tedesca's. Flood now catches the wall with the right rear into turn number 1, but still holds on to it. Tyler LaPointe in the 123 on the outside looking in. And one thing you've got to be careful of, Chris, we've seen it in the super late models, when that cushion, when it develops in 3 and 4, if you hit it wrong in these wing sprint cars, it only takes a split second for the rear end to bust, and that will end up potentially your race and may even be your night, depending on if they do it in the main event. But we've got 2 turns to go here at heat number 5.
Down the backstretch for the final time. Hannigan going to go to the inside now, but can't throw a slider on Preston. Preston will take the win. Hannigan second, Josh Flood in that 3rd position.
I'm still baffled at why Hannigan decided to run the bottom for 2 laps after he knew that Preston was closing in. I'm going to have to go do some investigating for that one. But anyhow, heat number 5 is complete, and that is your heat racing action completed here from the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. The Loud Pedal Productions 410 Wing Sprint Car Series, your season opener, as we get set for the first of 2 B mains on the program. And how about I bring up the right results for you? Heat number 5, Preston, Hannigan, Flood to the main event. LaPointe, Patrick, Austin, Silby, Berry, Duval. I'm no surprised to see him a lap down. I'm surprised he got 8 laps or 7 laps in before he ended up back on pit road, and Mason King in position number 10. Let's take a look right now at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid for tonight's B main number 1.
On the pole, B main number 1, Goon Squad Racing's Paul Mancini in the number 18. Outside of him, the 91 machine, that'll be Ernie Williams Jr.
Tyler LaPointe will start position number 3. Braden Isla going to roll off out of position number 4.
Row number 3 on the inside, it's going to be Benjamin Wirt, 31. Outside of him, Josh Phillips in 24.
Stephen Bixler will start position 7, and Corey Austin going to roll off out of position number 8.
Starting 9th, they're going to see Brody Sim in the Bang & Boards Racing number 04 machine. Tyler Matheny outside of him, starting 10th in 27.
John DeGoss will start position 11. Mason, what did we go with? Mason Miller out of position number 12.
Starting in the 13th position, Russell Berry in the 084. Outside him, Clayton Tilley in 51.
And we go back to Alex Robinson out of positions 15. Blake Chapman out of position 16. And Alan Bergen out of position number 17. And it looks like, once again, we had a couple of non-showers in tonight's B main. Looks like we've got 15 cars fighting for 4 transfer positions in this one, Chris.
It's going to be a absolute hornet's nest fighting for those transfer spots. Got a lot of cars duking it out for just a few transfer positions. So we're going to see who gets to make it through here to tonight's 30-lap main event.
All right, 12 laps on the board. Again, this will line up the inside row. In fact, this will line up the outside. 16, 18, 20, and 22. So we're going to have a 23-car field for the A main tonight. Of course, 5 heat races. We took the top 3 from those heat races. They're locking 15 in automatically. As Paul Mancini gets on the gas, and a little out of shape there as he tried to gas it up in the slick, as there goes LaPointe to the inside, and he'll go to the pointy end of the field. But here comes Ernie Williams Jr. and Braden Isla work on the outside down into turn number 3 and 4. Lap number 1. Give it to Ernie Williams Jr. just.
Wow, Ernie Williams put that thing hardly. Did he move? Oh my goodness! I thought LaPointe was going to slide right up in front of Williams, and put them both out of this race, but everybody stays straight and narrow out of turn 4. Williams still your leader. Eiler, LaPointe, and Phillips your top 4.
Phillips with a slide job now down on LaPointe, down into 1 and 2. Mancini back there on the outside looking in into position number 5. As here comes LaPointe back to the inside, back to the top shelf out of turn 4. Here comes Phillips once again. He'll throw the slide jobs. A bit of a tennis match going on. And now here comes Paul Mancini to the inside, but not going to have the drive off turn 2.
Out of turn number 3 and a 4. Top 2 remain the same. Williams and Eiler. It's Phillips and LaPointe running 3rd and 4th. Mancini back there in the 5th spot. Still trying to play some catch up down the back straightaway.
Yeah, top 2 drivers are really motored along here in the opening 5 laps, halfway home. 5 down, 5 to run. Ernie Williams Jr., the Black Diamond Motorsports, number 91 machine, leads the Craig Kinzer Sim team. The 5 of Braden Arler in 2nd. And we are yellow for the first time in tonight's B main. And it's nice to see we got at least 5 laps in the books before we had the yellow flag come out. As we take a look here at your Wicked Cushion instant replay, Benjamin Wirt, as he put a slider there on Tilly and just got up into the outside wall and down the racetrack, turned away, turned the wrong way, and yellow flag is out.
Made it through, so hopefully we can get the rest of the way through with no cautions, and hopefully we get the next B main through with no cautions. I don't want to jinx them or anything, but I'm just hoping we get green flag runs.
Well, I noticed too that going back to the previous 9 seasons we had here at World of Thunder Racing League, what would happen is service would open up for 10 minutes, and once the drivers got onto the racetrack, they could go out there and they could just burn up the racetrack, just have as many practice laps as you can. Things are a little bit different here in season number 10. The track is closed until the final 3 minutes. So these drivers realistically only have 3 minutes of practice before they're allowed, or before we go into qualifying. So it's just trying to preserve the racetrack just a little bit. And this sort of racetrack we probably would have seen in probably the opening 3 heats, I reckon, going back last season.
I was trying to think back to some of the races last season. My memory's shot. You know who's missing from action tonight, which I was kind of hoping he would run? Old Mikey Keegan. I was hoping he'd race tonight.
Yeah, not sure what's going on with
and
the X-Man.
And the super late models, Evan C., he was missing too.
Yeah, that indeed was. Again, not sure. Maybe these guys are sort of just with the pro stuff just around the corner. They're sort of keeping things under a blanket. They don't want to give too much away right now. But what these drivers on the racetrack they're giving away a big lead to Ernie Williams Jr. Just as we go back to yellow, it's happening again.
Cautions breed cautions, unfortunately.
As we take a look here at the Wicked Cushion instant replay, I believe this was Tyler LaPointe. Oh, just we're going to go back a little further because it looked like, holy moly, that was a big ride. We see some big ones here. Now, there is Mancini putting this slider on him. I'm pretty sure LaPointe comes down into him. It just gets off the... Oh, that's a bit of a racing deal, I think. One sliding up, one coming down. He does well to save it here. But what he doesn't do well from here on out is he doesn't do well to hang on because it is going for a ride, Weddy. Sometimes it's good to get a nice, good slide. Wow, he didn't even touch the ground before he got hit again.
Hard ride there. He's still bouncing around.
Look at that cushion in 3 and 4, right where that Dryden sign is. That thing is humongous. And I'll show you how big it is. Ready? If Ernie stays up there, as the lights are out on the pace track, if Ernie stays up there in turns 3, just keep an eye on it once we get to the Dryden sign, just after the that World of Outlaws logo. Watch how big this cushion is already. In fact, just have a look at the fence. Ready? So you see the fence just underneath the billboards. Look at it. Look at how it's nearly covering the fence.
I think it's piled up about a foot high, it looks like. Into turn number 1 and 2, Ernie Williams Jr. takes the lead. Braden Eiler back there in that second spot, down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Laps clicking down. Ernie Williams Jr., Braden Eiler, Josh Phillips running 1, 2, and 3.
And here comes Tilly on the outside looking in as well. Back there into position number 5 is Mancini and Phillips. They'll come together a little bit down the back straight away, but the white flag is out. 1 lap left to run for Ernie Williams Jr., excuse me. Braden Eiler sitting in second. Mancini, slide job on Phillips. Phillips around the outside. They'll make contact, and there goes Mancini. There goes Phillips, and says, Blake Chapman says, thank you very much, boys. I will take a main event. Oh, he might not get it. Oh, he does just.
Finish there here in this B main event, B main number 1. Ernie Williams Jr. going to the show, picking up the win here in B main 1.
Braden Eiler will come home in second spot. We'll bring up those B main number 1 results for you here in just a few moments' time. Clayton Tilley from 14th up to position number 3. Got a little bit lucky there on that last lap as he comes home third. Blake Chapman will hold on to that 4th and final transfer spot. Unfortunately, for 5th, I'm back. Well, it's time to pack it up and not go home, but grab yourself a nice cold beverage and join us for B main number 2. B main number 2 cars on the racetrack right now. Let's take a look. It's your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid.
On the pole, we're going to see Randy Shreves in that 56 machine. Outside of him, Dustin Hall in 331.
Trey Schmidt going to roll off out of position number 2 and Brett Rolls out of position number 4.
Starting in the 3rd row on the inside is going to be Cole Patrick in 36. Outside of him, it's going to be Connor Wilson in 13.
John Lepresto will start position 7. Rico Robles will start position number 8.
Starting in the 9th spot, it's going to be Hayden Cardwell in the number 2 machine. Outside of him, Craig Silby in 20.
Scott King out of position 11. Trevor Mattingly will start position number 12.
Starting 13th is going to be Brian Warner. Outside of him, Colton Key in 14.
You want a good laugh? BJ Duval will start position number 15. Thor Maddock out of position 16. And Mason King out of position number 17. Can confirm 2 drivers did not make the grid here for tonight's B main. So again, another 15 car field fighting for just 4 positions on the racetrack and 10 laps on the board.
4 spots up for grabs. This one's going to be a good one here as we're going to try to see BJ Duval climb it up through the field.
Well, he climbed it up on the fence on the grass in turns 1 and 2 in his heat race. And he was telling me of how proud he was to get 7 laps in because he hasn't done 7 laps ever in a sprint. Well, he's done 70 laps and yet still can't seem to make an A main event.
He'll get it up there at some point in time.
Green flag is out. Trey Schmidt, Randy Shreves. Shreves gets the better of the battle between Schmidt. Now here comes Dustin Hall on the outside. As Trey Schmidt going to throw the big slide job down into turn number 3 and 4. The battle is on for the race lead as well, but the battle is on. Lepresto. And back there, he's a little contact. Look at Cardwell coming, slicing and dicing through this field.
Cardwell's got something to prove after the late model main event as he bounced off the wall about 62 times during that thing. Ended up upside down. He has worked himself up to 2nd down the back straightaway.
2 laps, 7 positions. Yellow is out here in B main at number 2. Can you guess who it is?
I'm going to say it starts with BJ and ends with Duval.
Oh man, can't get anything by you, can you? Let's take a look at your Wicked Cushion instant replay and see what he does here. Oh, you know what? It wasn't even his fault. He just drove into the back of someone. I mean, when someone stopped on the racetrack, generally the idea is to sort of try and get around them. Not BJ.
I just creamed him there, didn't he?
You didn't miss him, that's for sure. Tell you what, Trey Schmidt, how many laps do you reckon he can hang on for before Carbwell gets him?
1.
I was going to say, yeah. I'm going by the time we get into 3 and 4 when we go back to the once we go back to green. It'll be not even. It won't even be half a lap, and Carbwell's going to make. Carbwell should make a move. And again, that's no disrespect to Trey, but Carbwell, he's just. I feel like he's got a point to prove right now after not coming through the heat race and having a disappointing result. No doubt he'll want to start what should be position 17 in tonight's main event. At the moment, if he finishes second, he will start position number 19.
Let's see if Cardwell, he can make it into the show. And he's going to be one that's going to be fun to watch if he makes it into the show here and is able to start back in the back part of the feature.
All right, here we go. 3 laps in the books of tonight's B main number 2. 7 laps left to run. Trey Schmidt, Hayden Cardwell. Schmidt goes to the top, Cardwell goes to the bottom, gets the Rhett Wheeler inside wall out into turn number 1 and 2, and he will fall back to position number 4.
Into turn number 3, out of turn 4, Cardwell back on the bottom of the racetrack. Trey Schmidt pulling away. Dustin Hall, Brett Rolls, Hayden Cardwell still rounding out the top 4.
Yeah, right now Brett Rolls now in that 4th and final transfer position. He's got Robles in the 3 machine behind him, but Cardwell, he's working his way on the bottom side of the racetrack, maybe just setting himself up for later on in the feature event, and well, maybe just doesn't want to give away his secrets on the top side, because I think last time, the 410s were here, I'm pretty sure that he come from the back of the bus and he was up challenging inside of a top 3 and then just sort of overdrove it on the cushion, and he flipped pretty much outside of the ballpark here.
Well, yeah, hopefully keep it in the ballpark here tonight as we finish this B main event. Schmidt and Carhammer caution. Caution is out here in B main number 2 once again.
All right, let's see if we can take a look here at your Wicked Cushion instant replay. There was several cars involved in this one. Mattingly, Warner, I think King was involved, Maddock. There's a... Nope, looks like that's not it. Just trying to go back and trying to find Thor Maddock. I know there was issues here on the front straight away. That's right, we'll leave that alone. We'll go back to live pictures here from Volusia. The final race of the season opener. The Loud Pedal Productions 410 Wings Sprint Car Series. Looking forward to next week, travelling to Lernerville Speedway. For round number 2, we'll have the UMP Modifieds. We'll have the Pro Late Models, Super Late Model Nationals Series, and the 410 Winged Sprint Car Series. And just to try and give you enough time here on this one, I'm going to give you about 8 seconds. We've got some wonderful people helping us, sponsors-wise, for the World of Thunder Racing League. Chris, who are they?
You're only going to give me 8 seconds for this.
Yep, done. There's your 8 seconds.
You can't give me 8 seconds. It's Grace Productions, Loud Pedal Productions, Bobby and Jennifer Hunts, Loud Pedal Productions, Next Level Designs, $1 Million Motorsports, and Team Outlaw.
There you go. See? That's all you needed. 8 seconds. Here we go. 3 laps left to run. Schmidt and Cardwell. Schmidt to the top side once again. Cardwell down to the inside into 1 and 2. This time he does not hit the wall. And we are back under yellow. And this is getting very desperate for these drivers outside the top 4. So if you're not inside that top 4, Chris, let's get yourself a beverage or just get ready for bed, boys.
Keep this thing green is hopefully we can get these last couple laps in the next 4 minutes or so. So we got 4 minutes left on this time constraint here. It's Trey Schmidt just hoping this thing ends quickly.
It's the black and green cars out in front, and it's a pair of twos out in front. You got a 22 and the 2 on the timing and scoring screen. Trey Schmidt drives a 12 machine on the side of that car, and let's tell you the story about Trey Schmidt winning a non-wing race and falling off the top of the cage.
I think I saw the video of that.
Yeah, that has to be the funniest video out. I think I laughed hard for a week about that. I just kept watching it, and it kept getting funnier every time.
All right, pace truck rolls down the back straightaway, or front straightaway, excuse me, past Victory Lane. It is still Trey Schmidt out front, Hayden Cardwell in that second position. Dustin Hall, Brett Rolls rounding out the top 4. So anybody's ball game still, with just a couple of laps to go.
Can I pick Cardwell to win already?
You probably can.
Yeah, well, just look at how slick this track is from top to bottom. And then, of course, you've got that cushion, that ledge up on the top side. Here we go. A green-white checker to wrap up B main number 2. Schmidt will lead us off down into 1 and 2. Well, very surprised to see Cardwell go to the top side in 1 and 2. He was good on the bottom side on the previous couple of laps, but Schmidt now finds himself just 1 circuit away from transferring into the main event as we are yellow. Poor old BJ Duval.
Sometimes you're the dog, and sometimes you're the hydrant.
Well, I mean, that's one way to get some airtime, right? I mean, I thought he turned comedian when he said he was going to run a sprint car. Said apparently it was the first couple of seasons in the World of Thunder Racing League. It's been that long since he ran a sprint car. In fact, the last time that he ran a sprint car, a week later, an ex-partner of his actually went out and raced the 410, and at Fairbury, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, she actually made the main event.
Hey. 15 seconds to go here in the time limit, so I'm assuming we are about to have a 1-lap shootout.
It was looking so promising too. We got, I think it was 5 or 6 laps in the opening couple of minutes, and then it's taken a little bit to conclude this second B main. As after this one, we are going straight into a warm-up session. The drivers, it'll be a 2-minute warm-up session, but only a 1-minute warm-up practice session into turn number 3 and 4. Well, what looks to be the final time. Who's going to get the win? Trey Schmidt will hold on to the number 1 spot. Hayden Cardwell second, Dustin Hall third, and John Lepresto going to be credited with a 4th place finish, and he will go through to your A main event. Again, we'll bring those results up on screen. Schmidt, Cardwell, Hall, and Lepresto. We'll take a quick break and come back on the other side of this. The Loud Pedal Productions 410 Wing Sprint Car Series, your main event, up next.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? gleaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to Ultimate Dirt TV's coverage of the Loud Pedal Productions 410 Winged Sprint Car Series here tonight from the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. Brett Wheeler joined alongside Chris Nairn as we get set for the main event. Let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid with John the Presto starting position number 23, Blake Chapman out of position 22 and Dustin Hall out of position number 21.
Starting 20th outside of row 10, go see Clayton Tilley in 51, and it's going to be Hayden Cardwell in the tube machine starting 19th.
Braden Arlo will start position number 18 and Trey Schmidt out of position number 17.
Starting in the 16th position, you're going to see Ernie Williams Jr. in 91, and inside of him is going to be Josh Flood in the 7.
Zach Novak will start outside of row 7, position number 14. He's inside position number 13 of Devin Butts.
And starting in the 12th position, we're going to see Riley Emming in the Goon Squad Racing number 12, starting 11th, the number 5 of Brandon Steele.
The defending 410 World of Thunder Racing League champion Mason Hannigan will start position number 10 to his inside James Grace out of position number 9.
Starting in the 8th position, number 37 machine of Zach McSwain, starting 7th, it's going to see the 11th of Harry Stewart.
JD Brown will roll off out of position number 6 and Richie Preston will start position number 5.
Starting 4th, they're going to see Josh Steinke in the number 80 machine. And starting in the 3rd spot, it's going to be Cameron Merriman in 35.
And your front row for tonight's 30-lap A main event. On the outside of the front row, position number 2, that'll be Timothy Smith. And on pole for Slick Sim Sports, from Queensland, Australia, driving car number 21, Joel Berkeley. Chris, we're just talking about trying to figure out who is going to get the win here tonight. You said you didn't have half an idea of these sprint car guys, and you said you were going to pick the pole sitter. Is that still the case?
I don't know. I'm going to have to I want to change my pick. I'm going to pick Devin Butts for the win.
All right, well, you go Devin Butts. I'm actually going to change my pick. I originally picked Steinke off air, but looking at this field, I like Cameron Merriman in this field. I really, really do. I really think he's got a point to prove here tonight as Pace Truck moves to the infield. And if you're wondering why we're not going green, well, we added an extra 5 laps on the board. Give these drivers an opportunity right now to get into the greatest sight in all motorsports, or showcase a 4-wide salute here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park.
Always a good sight to see. All we need now is some pyro. That's all we need.
Well, if we're at the virtual Knoxville Raceway, the pyro would have been going off right now, but it only does it during the pace laps. Again, a 4-wide salute here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. There's no greater sight in all of motorsports. It's probably one of the best 4-wide sprint car salutes I've seen in quite some time. But again, as these drivers just happen just to roll around here at the moment, we've already seen a couple of drivers run out of fuel tonight in the heat races, Chris. No doubt that sprint cars, they are heavy reliant on fuel. Obviously, the lighter you are, the faster you are. Not like the late models where you could have 5 or 10 gallons in and you'd still turn the same lap times.
hopefully they fill these things. It's different to see people run out of gas in heat races. You don't see that on the real tracks too often, do you? I mean, your experiences in the real tracks, but you don't see cars run out of gas too much in heat races.
No, I can't recall the last time I've seen a car run out of gas in the heat races. But again, these drivers they try and get every gallon of fuel they can, and they like to have like next to nothing when they come across the start finish line. And it's funny, we talk about a fuel situation doing an official race a couple of days ago. In fact, it might have been yesterday. 360 race at Knoxville, and because I hadn't run sprint cars in a good couple of weeks, and it's been a while since I ran at Knoxville, I actually forgot how much gas we needed for a 30 lap main event, and turns out I put 8 in, and I was about 4 or 5 laps short, and I'm like, wow, that's my fuel recalculations are really off if I'm 4 or 5 laps short away with 18 gallons.
Wow. See, I'm awful at math. Like I couldn't even begin to be a crew chief or anything of the sort. So it's always I don't know. I'm glad I'm behind the mic.
Yeah, it turns out sometimes I'm better off just not racing, and it's just it can be a real pain in the backside just to hook the wheel up and then unhook it, because then you've got to get the sensor out for the virtual reality headset. It's just a lot of work sometimes to do. Can be very little racing, but here we go. Lights are out. We are green flag this time by off of turn number 4. The Loud Pedal Productions 410 Wing Sprint Car Series. Your main event is about to start. Let's get dirty for 30. We are green. As Joel Berkeley going to lead us off out of turn number 4 and down into turn number 1 and 2. Drivers fighting for the top, bottom, and middle. Look at Cameron Merriman, man. He just drove by Smith like he was standing still on the bottom side.
Into turn number 4, out of turn 4, here they come, Joel Berkeley. Into turn number 1, Cameron Merriman in that second spot. 80 of Josh Steinke out of turn number 2. He's got a rocket ship on the top side. Into turn number 3 and 4. Merriman, Berkeley, side by side for the lead. Out of 4, it's Merriman out front.
2 laps in, he's already to the lead. And there's a reason why I picked him, because he is so fast, especially around these types of racetrack. He's certainly got stuff figured out in the sprint car side of things. Berkeley running in second. Then you go back to Josh Steinke in third. Smith in fourth. Then you look at Harry Stewart running up the top 5. And here comes JD Brown winding it up on the top side of the racetrack. Look at the differences right now between the top wing position. JD Brown has got that thing tucked in the trunk at the moment.
Got that thing all the way back, trying to get about as much grip as he can there on the rear end of that race car. Down the back straightaway they go. Caution is out. Yellow.
Merriman was already out to about a 1.2 second lead. Uh-oh, we had some dramas. There was Mason Hannigan, Brandon Steele, Dustin Hall. There was a lot of drivers involved in an incident here as we take a look at the Wicked Cushion instant replay. Let's see if we can find out what happened to Steele. So Steele gets into the back of Hannigan. Dustin Hall involved. Clayton Tilley involved. Hannigan. Now, why would somebody put a light pole there?
That's pretty bad. Pretty bad building there.
Yep. How dare they put light poles around this facility? As we are under yellow for the first time in tonight's main event. And, well, poor old Mason Hannigan. Now, there was talks of, during the late model stuff, that they're having 2 drop weeks. I'm going to throw you under the bus here and see if you know your rules. Are we having drop weeks in the sprint cars as well?
I thought we were having a drop week in all 4 divisions, honestly. That was the last I heard.
Again, I do want to throw you under the bus as many times as I can for leaving me high and dry at championship week last week. Championship night last week. Speaking of championship nights, the next time that you and I will be on a broadcast, I mean, if you decide to turn up this week, the DOB 305 Sprint Car Series, they head to Lanier on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then following that, Thursday night, their 410 stuff, they head to, I believe, the dirt track at Charlotte for their championship night. And they go into the points, I believe, 7 points or 14 points, separating the 305 sprint car stuff. And there's championship opportunities up for grabs for a number of drivers here this Wednesday and Thursday. Green flag is back out. Cameron Merriman now Steinke to the inside. Look at Berkeley trying to rail it up on the top side into turn number 1 and 2. Steinke good on the bottom side, and keep an eye on Harry Stewart. He's trying to come right through the middle.
Trying to make that middle groove work as we are got cars running bottom, middle, top side. As Steinke on the bottom of the racetrack, Berkeley shoots back to the outside of him. J.D. Brown goes to the 4th spot. Now Timothy Smith trying to get it back away from him out of turn 4.
Have a look, who's just made it 3 wide and coming right through the middle. Hayden Caldwell in the black and green number 2 machine. As he'll now go to the top into turn 1 and 2. Follow J.D. Brown as we are yellow. And was that Harry Stewart or no? No, I believe this might have been Braden Isla and Trey Schmidt. Take a look at the wicked cushion instant replay. Very bumpy, very bouncy on the cushion in 1 and in 3 and 4. Oh, that happened to be John LaPresto and Ernie Williams Jr. coming together. Watch this. Let's focus in on this right here. So now, who are we calling at fault for that one? Racing deal?
Yeah, it seems to me like it was a racing deal. Just guys fighting for real estate.
Poor old Isla, nowhere to go on that exchange. Tell you what, done very, very well to save it. Ernie tagged him again. Trey Schmidt on the bottom. Look at these cars. Just going every which way possible. Oh, there goes Schmidt on the top side. Flood coming into that one. That was a bit of a hairy moment there for some of those drivers trying to get through some of the incidences there in turns 1 and 2. So what is essentially 8 laps complete and 22 to go in the main event. Merriman doesn't look like he's going to be touched at all.
He has had an absolute great race car this entire time. I think Berkeley trying to make something happen on the top side, but man, Merriman, he's just good anywhere he's running right now on this racetrack.
Second row, Josh Steinke on the inside in the Brady machine, and J.D. Brown on the outside. Hayden Caldwell up to position number 5. Smith on his outside, Stewart and Preston. Then you go back to, I believe, Zach Novak and Ernie Williams Jr. in 9th and 10th. Green flag flyers here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park once again. Let's see how many laps we can get in before the next yellow. Berkeley around the outside of Steinke there on the exit of turn number 2, and here comes Caldwell. Not on the bottom side, but he's between the bottom and the middle groove in 3 and 4.
No, definitely not. As you roll out of turn number 1 and 2, down the back straightaway, Cardwell trying to make a run on the top side, gets around Steinke. J.D. Brown rounds out the top 5. Merriman, though, and look how good he is on the bottom of that racetrack. He is smooth as silk.
Brown and Novak battle side by side as Brown gets the advantage out of turn number 2. Tell you what, if we can get a Merriman versus Caldwell battle on the racetrack, that could be an absolute bell ringer of a feature event to close us out here on the Loud Pedal Productions 410 Sprint Car Series. Berkeley good on the top side in the black and pink number 21 machine. Caldwell ducks to his inside. Merriman right up on the inside again, trying to keep those left side tyres down in the moisture and getting the shortest way around this half a mile of a racetrack.
Down the back straightaway they go. Merriman, Berkeley, and Cardwell. Cardwell making a run out. Look how much ground he closed in on your leader coming out of turn number 4. He is a man on a mission, is Hayden Cardwell.
17 to run it was that time by at the flag stand there on the front straightaway. Down into turns 3 and 4 we go. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Man, I'll tell you what, it takes a yellow to ruin a good race. And right there, man, Hayden Cardwell is just absolutely flying in that number 2 machine.
Yeah, he certainly got stuff figured out. And I guess the good thing about sort of Hayden Cardwell, he's got sort of a little bit of an advantage over the rest of the drivers in this field. Is the drivers that hadn't hit the racetrack since the opening the opening 5 heat races. The track has changed dramatically, and Hayden Cardwell, in fact, got to run the second B main, so he knows exactly where the track is, and he would have in that warm-up session just before they went out there, for the main event, they had 1 minute. He would have been able to make the necessary adjustments. So at this stage, I dare say advantage to Hayden Cardwell.
Oh, absolutely. You saw how much ground he closed in on the bottom of the racetrack there just a couple of laps ago before the caution came out. He was right there on his tail tank. And it's unfortunately caution came out, so does momentum up. But we haven't seen the last of Cardwell here.
All right, so green flag set the flag, not this time, but the following time by Cameron Merriman. We ride on board thanks to Black Diamond Motorsports with Hayden Cardwell, who sits in 3rd position. See the way that he went to go to that cushion just then? If he gets too close to that, if his right rear goes up on the wall, on that cushion, it'll act as he's driven up onto the wall, and when he comes back down off the cushion, that'll actually bust his rear. And the last time that we were here, Harry Stewart done it, actually, in fact, and I bet you Harry Stewart doesn't do that one again.
No, you don't make the same mistake twice, that is for sure.
Yeah, just ask Mason Hannigan stopping 1 lap shy of a heat race. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah, you never lived that down.
No, you definitely don't. As we are back, getting back to green flag action, Merriman, Berkeley, and Cardwell. Wait for the pace track to move to the infield. And in the slick, you cannot just mash the throttle. You've got to ease into it as Cardwell ran over the back of Berkeley, Stoke into the wall, Zach Novak, Ernie Williams Jr., and poor old Hayden Cardwell. Josh Steinke upside down.
Well, I'd say right there, that's pretty much going to gift wrap it for Cameron Merriman.
Yeah, I believe it all started with Cardwell getting into the back of his teammate Joel Berkeley on the front straightaway. So we take a look here at your wicket cushion instant replay. There was nothing in it between the pair, and man, that just really just came unstuck for a number of those drivers. And unfortunately for Steinke, he goes upside down. We've also got, I believe, Dustin Hall upside down, who tried his very best to get it back on all fours. He's trying. He tried very hard. I don't think he succeeded though. Nope. That's the Presto. Dustin Hall, there he is, back on pit road along with Steinke, called the virtual hook.
So what you call that virtual hook, that puts you in for what, an automatic about 1.5 minutes, is that right?
Yeah, minute 45 or a minute 50, one of the two.
It's like I said just a few minutes ago, I think this one, that yellow right there, just pretty much gift wrapped this one for Cameron Merriman. He has just looked so good there out front.
I'll keep an eye on Ernie Williams Jr. as well. He is been able to come through the field as well. He is up 11 positions, so he started position number 16. Braden Nyla up 11 positions as well. Trey Schmidt up 7th. He runs in the 10th position. As it looks like we are getting set to fire the 410 wing sprint cars back up again. 15 laps to run, so halfway home. This time by off for turn number 4. 15 down, 15 to go. Green flag back out.
Into turn number 1 and 2 they go. Merriman with your leader down the back straightaway. Here comes J.D. Brown down the back straightaway. Richie Preston sitting back there in that 4th position. Going to run the bottom of the racetrack, but Merriman, he's got company. Here comes Joel Berkeley.
Now Berkeley with a good run on the outside. Berkeley going to take back the race lead only momentarily. We are back under yellow flag conditions. Theme of the night so far. That super late model race was absolutely amazing.
You know what? It's like we say, cautions breed cautions breed cautions, and unfortunately, we've got a lot of cautions.
Yeah, not the way the opening night should have gone here for the Loud Pedal Productions 410 Wing Sprint Car Series, but again, these drivers should be experienced enough. They've had they had 10 races last season in season number 9. And those tracks that we seen last season, we seen like worse racetracks than this in the heat races or the B mains. It's unfortunately, you're going to have those nights where you have the off nights, and you're going to have those nights where you have the good nights. You got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, always definitely. When you're points racing, you're going to have bad nights, but you got to stay consistent. Consistency wins points championships, even if you don't win a race. Take Barry Sorensen, for example. Didn't win a race, ended up winning a points championship on our late models.
Yeah, well, again, he was one of those drivers that you said that wasn't here tonight, and you've got when you got some money up for grabs, especially with those drop weeks coming into play as well. You can afford to have that one drop week, but he's going to have to be ever so consistent if he wants to defend that title here on Sunday evenings here at the World of Thunder Racing League. I guess the big thing about this season, in season number 10, is I'm looking forward to the Super Late Model National Series again.
Oh, absolutely. 60 cars, jam-packed, the server. It was an all-star race, to say the very least. You had, 17 pro licensed drivers in that feature event?
Yep, 17 out of the 24. It was unbelievable. As here we go, getting set to come back to green here at the Volusia Speedway Park. A little bit of a dragged-on feature event, but as we said, you take the good with the bad, and no doubt Cameron Merriman, he'll have to get up on the horse, get up on the wheel, because he's going to have to hold off for fast charging, finishing Joel Berkeley in the number 21 machine. We'll see if he can not make the same mistake twice as Merriman runs low. Berkeley goes through the middle.
Down the middle of the racetrack they go. Merriman, Berkeley, and Brown, 1, 2, and 3. Oh, man. Berkeley still trying to find something up on the top shelf. J.D. Brown back there in that 69 machine, working the bottom of the racetrack, trying to close in on Merriman. Merriman's had a great run off the bottom of the racetrack as laps are clicking down.
Yep, 11 to run that time, buying down into turn number 1 and 2. Berkeley and Brown side by side. Berkeley on the outside, Brown on the 69. The Fathead Highway entry up on the inside as he'll go low once again. Merriman, that left front tyre, I'm pretty sure it caught those tyres there on the exit of turn number 2, the yellow tyres. You cannot miss seeing those big bright yellow things, and here comes Berkeley, winding it up on the top shelf once again.
Now to turn number 4, Berkeley trying to find a way to catch up to Merriman. He is there. He's just got to try to find a way around him. Pops his right rear up on the cushion, tries to drive off the wall, down the back straightaway. He'll pull almost even down the back straightaway. Caution is out again here in this feature event.
And just when the battle was heating up for the race, it almost seems like it takes Berkeley about 3, 4, 5 laps to wind that thing up. But once he gets it wound up on the top shelf, you know that he is going to have every chance and a possibility to run to get by Cameron Merriman. But man, Merriman, he's got to be thinking now, especially coming out of turn 4, you get those just after the pit road there. You see those yellow tyres? They don't move either. They are like the wall. And he is trying to use every inch of moisture down on the bottom side, and to do 30 laps down there consistently without hitting those tyres, it's very tough to do.
See what happens here with those tires. As he's just got a handful of laps left. Man, 21 machine of Berkeley, he is making a run on that top side. It looks like he's putting that right rear right up there on that wall and using it to bank off of, and he gets a run down that back straightaway. But Merriman, he's so much better in 3 and 4, it looks like.
Yeah, well, it's all just a patience game at the moment for Cameron Merriman. He knows that, it's all about throttle control at this stage, and if he can continue, to have that throttle control and not overdrive it, he knows it's going to take an absolute superstar, a super effort from Joel Berkeley to get around the outside. I think looking at the racetrack and what I've seen Berkeley do now on the previous couple of laps prior to going yellow, right where J.D. Brown's running right now, right upstairs in the cushion, just inches away from that wall. If Berkeley can hit that in 1 and 2, it sets himself up for a pass potentially through the middle in turns 3 and 4.
We're about to find out exactly how this is going to shake out here, as I believe Pace Truck's going to pull off here. field is going to belong to Cameron Merriman out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway. Here they come into turn number 1. Out of 1 and 2 they go. Here he goes. Back up to the top side goes Berkeley. Down the back straightaway they go. Down the front stretch, into turn number 3. It's where Merriman's better than Berkeley.
All right, we'll see what Berkeley can do. The gap is about nearly 4/10 of a second. Berkeley drives it right up to the top side into turn number 1 and 2. A lot faster in 1 and 2, as you said, Chris. Berkeley's got something figured out in 1 and 2. It's 3 and 4 that he's just plagiarising the number 21 machine as he tries to do everything in his power to try and get by. 6 to go that time by.
Down the back straightaway they go. Tries to catch up with him down the back straightaway. Merriman, though, he is so good there in 3 and 4, but he made a little run on him there coming down to turn 4. As laps are still clicking down, we'll see what Berkeley has out of turn number 4. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3, Oh, he caught the cushion there.
Yeah, it's trying to minimise your mistakes right now. 4 laps left to run. Merriman once again on the inside. He has not gotten off the bottom side all feature race long. Berkeley once again on the cushion along with JD Brown. Berkeley nearly pulling alongside the 35 of Merriman down into turn number 3 and 4. Here he goes. He will now pull alongside. Who's going to get the run to the start-finish line? That time Berkeley had it. Oh, Merriman, you'd want to hope that we don't see a yellow because otherwise you'll give the number 1 spot to Berkeley. And he gives it up out of turn number 2. 2 to run this time by, Chris.
Out of turn number 4. Going to be 2 to go this time by. Berkeley with your lead down the front straightaway. Merriman and J.D. Brown in that 3rd spot. Out of turn number 4, or 2 down the back straightaway. That dogleg backstretch. Man, Berkeley is absolutely pulling away now into turn number 3.
Yeah, what about the battle on for 3rd and 4th? Preston and J.D. Brown. The white flag is out. Berkeley once again to the top shelf into turn number 1 and 2. Merriman rides low, but no one going to have anything for the Slick Sim Sports driver. And they will go 3 in a row for Slick Sim Sports. Joel Berkeley wins here at Volusia. 2nd will go to Cameron Merriman. Richie Preston going to come home in 3rd position. 4th at the line is going to be JD Brown and Braden Isla. Going to round out your top 5 here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park in the Loud Pedal Productions 410 Wings Sprint Car Series, the season opener here at Volusia. Chris, we finally get there.
It was worth the wait as Joel Berkeley made use of a last couple of laps there to get the pass on Cameron Merriman. Berkeley, your winner. Merriman 2nd, Preston 3rd, J.D. Brown 4th, Braden Eiler 5th, and it was Stuart Schmidt, Grace LaPresto, and Brandon Steele rounding out the top 10.
All right, well, we'll give these drivers a couple of minutes to make their way, and we'll go down trackside and chat to our top 3. And Chris, in fact, you're standing by with our race winner here tonight already, Joel Berkeley.
Well, Joel Berkeley, tonight's feature winner here with us. Man, those cautions there late in the race had to have been frustrating for you, but it didn't slow your progress down. You set them up, and you got around Merriman. Take us through those last 5 or 6 laps. What was your strategy there?
I was just trying to hope for no yellows, and every time I got close to Cam, like a couple times I got close to him, and it just got a yellow and I got near, and it was frustrating. And I was more frustrated that under one of the yellows, or one of the earlier yellows, I ripped the diff out of it, actually. So it made it a handful.
Yeah, that makes it even more impressive. It's like you're lying in turn 1. We're taking a look at it now in the video. You would run up, you would bank off that berm right up there. It's like you put it right off the wall. You got so much of a good run down the back straightaway. It seemed like he was a little bit better than you in 3 and 4, however.
Yeah, I think he was. I think I was definitely a little bit better in 1 and 2, and just with the momentum carrying into turn 3, it just helped passing Cam. But I'm not sure. It was a handful. I was just trying to survive, and I was glad to. He ripped my vinyl off early in the race. I'm glad to be able to get back by him, but pretty happy to get the win. I think it's two in a row, and I won last week and this week.
That's pretty good to be on a roll right now. And who do you got to give thanks to?
Yeah, it's good to get a good run. Been trying all day today with everything, so had a solid run and everything. But look, massive credit to the guys at Slick Sims, but everyone there that makes it possible, and awesome to see everyone else having a good run, and congrats to the podium, and good fun.
All right, there is your winner, Joel Berkeley, here tonight at Volusia.
All right, well, let's bring in the driver that comes home at second spot tonight, and probably one that slipped away from him in the end. But Cameron Merriman, well, buddy, you come home at second spot here tonight. Maybe just giving up the top side a little too late in the race.
Yeah, it was an interesting race. The track developed in a way that maybe I didn't expect. We were sitting under caution with like 5 laps to go, and the cushion was pretty stout still. So I had committed myself both in my mental capacity and in the setup to run the bottom that race. And I wasn't really willing to send myself up there. And after Joel got by me, I tried it once, and I certainly didn't have speed to chase him down, so I figured I better stick with the bottom. But it was phenomenal racing with Joel, and I felt like once he was able to gather some position and from real estate above me, which kind of compromises the line running on the bottom because you want to use the whole track, I had to concede a bit of real estate to him, and that allowed him to get by pretty unencumbered. So yeah, good race with him, and it was fun all around.
Right, how difficult is it to just explain to the fans? How difficult is it to try and put lap after lap here on the bottom side? Because especially when the track gets this slick, you're not full throttle. You're probably half to 3/4 throttle, sort of at most around this type of racetrack. But what goes through your mind, lap after lap, to try and set yourself up for a 30-lap main event that as you said, you're mentally prepared to stay on the bottom side.
Yeah, that's definitely a difficult aspect. Turns 3 and 4, if you go look at it, it's got this funny jut right at the apex. The wall kind of sticks out at you, and you actually have to like almost drive the car around it if you want to run the bottom. So you're working the gas, the brake, the steering wheel. It's a lot of finesse. And honestly, 30 laps isn't a problem. I can turn 30 laps around here pretty easily because it's a lot of rhythm and getting in your groove and stuff like that. But with the nature of the race tonight, with caution after caution, guys joking around in chat, you kind of lose focus a bit. And I'm not blaming my loss on losing focus, but it certainly does take you out of your rhythm when you're starting and going. So that makes it tougher still.
Well, buddy, a nice way to open up the season opener here, Season 10 of the Loud Pedal Productions 410 Sprint Car Series. We hope to see you back all season long. Have you got any plans to come back and run the entire season, or what's the plan for Cameron Merriman here?
It's tough on a Sunday night, with coronavirus still. My personal, being into work in person is limited still, so we'll see how that plays out. But for now, at least, I should be able to run every once in a while. So if I can't run the full season, I'll try and be here quite a bit.
Buddy, well, look, we hope to see you back sooner rather than later. But Cam, congratulations on this second place run here tonight at Volusia. We'll let you get out of here and let you thank those sponsors as well.
Right on. Just want to thank you guys, Brett. You guys putting on the broadcast. It's a cool show. So thanks a bunch, and we'll catch you next.
All right, there we go. Cameron Merriman, they're home in second place. Chris Nunn, you caught up with our third place driver.
All right, Richie Preston, third place driver. You had a pretty good bird's eye view there, that battle for the lead. You had a good run going there early on in the race. Then you and JD had a good battle there. End up third place, though. Pretty respectable run.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun with JD and them guys there at the end. We were kind of behind the 8 ball there at the beginning of the feature. The setup just wasn't there, but once the fuel kind of wore off, we came in there at the end and kind of just rolled the bottom and ended up third.
Yeah, it's a pretty good run for you, though. I mean, point standings wise, get you a good points night. I don't know if you plan on running points with us or not, but consistency, it's a good key to racing. I mean, you can't win them all, but consistency makes you a better driver, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm running with some series right now, and I haven't even won a race in there. You just gotta be consistent every night, and things should play your way. If you're in the top 10, you have a good shot at winning any points title, I believe. So I'm going to run as many of these races as I can here on Sundays, and we'll go from there.
Third place out of 50 cars. That's nothing to sneeze at. Who you got to help give thanks to?
Yeah, thanks to you guys back at UDTV for the broadcast, and Royal Thunder for the league, and then my team, O's Up Sim Sport, and our sponsors, Anderson Speedway, Motorsport Speed, Jessup Logistics, Paints by Tunican, Hergot Real Estate, BS Air, Othwell Photography, Catch Fence Apparel, and Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation.
All right, that is tonight's third place finisher, Richie Preston.
Well, Sunday night season opener is complete. Chris, again, a big thank you to you for sticking by all 4 races here tonight. No doubt we've seen some fantastic racing. To be honest, we've seen some ordinary racing at some parts of the main events. But, man, I tell you what, it's been a phenomenal night, and what a way to open up the season number 10 here with the World of Thunder Racing League.
Absolutely. 210 cars in attendance for all four divisions. A great night to start here, season number 10. And I think it's just going to get even better, though, as far as the further on we go.
All right. Well, look, I'm going to try and give you as much time as possible because we know there's a whole list of sponsors here at the World of Thunder Racing League that help put on these shows, and from the admin team to all the companies behind the scenes, which hopefully I've given you enough time just by babbling on. Have you got those sponsors on hand?
Yeah, World of Thunder wants to give special shout outs to Grace Productions, Lap Pedal Productions, Bobby and Jennifer Hans. Also, want to give out a special thank you to Next Level Designs, $1 Million Motorsports, Team Outlaw. Also, a special thank you to our Ultimate Dirt TV sponsors, the World of Thunder iRacing League, and Wicked Cushion.
Well, that'll wrap us up from the virtual Volusia Speedway Park, Chris. Thank you once again for your time and efforts here on Sunday evening, and no doubt we'll be back hopefully Wednesday and Thursday night, back joining me in the booth and back here on Ultimate Dirt TV, Facebook and YouTube, and of course on the iRacing front page, iRacing live screen as well. And on behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV, this is Brett Wheeler signing off, and thanks to Chris Nunn as well. Good night, everyone.